Damn. This might be a bad spot to actually record, bro. Yeah, it is. Ain't it? Alright, chill, chill, chill. We're getting moved. We're getting moved. Not gonna lie. This used to be a peaceful area, but now more it's more of just an area that I see myself in for not so long. Like, you just gotta sum it up to cause and effect, you know? Can't really blame nobody but myself. But now I kind of wonder if I chose the right thing. You know, I always second guess when it came to this. I was like, damn, should have went to go play football, right? And then to go fade in the obscurity, because I know it's either I was gonna get injured or I was just gonna lose the hustle or get cut, you know. But I don't want to wish that upon myself. But anyway, this is not a good spot either, but these spots suck ass. We're being very indecisive today. We gotta find a spot, bro. We gotta find a spot, or we gotta grab a chair. Either way, we gotta find a spot. I'm looking for a spot. Some with shade and somewhere to be seen, you know? Cause it's like so much sun today. Okay, this is a shady area. Should I need the chair? No, but today is I'm trying to find a spot. Let me evaluate the scenery, because we got a lot of spider webs just all over the place. Maybe I'm getting taller. Sight, what are you not getting taller? Delusion is a hell of a drug. Alright, now that we're situated and we waited like almost 3 minutes of just finding a spot. How you doing? That's what's up, that's what's up, that's what's up. That's good, that's good. How's the family? How's the brother, sister? You know? How's the kids, if you have any? That's what's up. That's what's up. All right. Me, scouting for a regular job, looking for some places to stay at. You know, I'm gonna miss the backyard though. Some bad memories are good, because not only do you evolve with those memories, you tend to see that it wasn't all so bad. You was only looking at the main majority of the part that seemed bad to you, you know? And I wanted to come on here to say is that you're not important till you make yourself important, you know? You're just a regular guy, regular girl, you know, just a regular person until you make yourself important. You might be important to your close relatives, but anybody else, you're just another bum on the street, you know? You don't know how many great artists are out there are unseen, how many great philosophers are out there are unseen, how many great minds that are unseen or don't want to be seen. Some of the greatest minds don't want to be seen. I don't want to be seen because I'm not a great mind. I didn't want to be seen because I thought if I would be able to be different. Maybe I would be seen for my extravagant type of way of seeing the outer world, right? Because being deep 24/7 and deep in philosophy, I feel like that category kind of negates the being of what it is. So I feel like even if I hold myself to a certain standard, I still won't be seen as that, you know? Just a little ugly punching bag at that point. People hate that I despise. People hate that I am alive. People hate that I lied. All great things to see in one's person eye, you know. Evidently, you gotta get to that bag, you know. You gotta get to that bag. Every tone and tempo, you gotta get to that bag. That bag is the only thing you will have, you know. Like it's the only thing you will have. But look at it this way, right? What I got? What I got? All right. I'm gonna find like I know I got like a nice little hair tie, right? I know I got a hair tie somewhere. Chill. I'm trying to find it. Right. So I got a hair tie, right? You know what I'm saying? Simple hair tie. And say this whole hair tie is your not everlasting life, but this is your life, right? And you're trying to gain more life or gain more knowledge, you tend to stretch. And as you stretch, it becomes more thin and thin and thin until there's a breaking point, right? And that breaking point can be fixed, so to speak. But even when it gets fixed, it's never the same. So you elongated your life, but stretched it to the point where it's thin in some weak areas, to the point where it could just snap just by the lightest of pulls. So with that, don't stretch your life out trying to gain something that you don't even want. Stretch your life in a monetary gain to the point where it's still able to be used. Elasticity, you know? Maybe it wasn't a good analogy. I thought it was better in my head, but it is what it is, you know? That saying right there, it is what it is. One of the most overused sayings that I use. It is what it is, or it is what it won't be. But right now, you just gotta figure it out. I might be right back. I might have to go, you know. I'm gonna go push the trash in the front. It is Sunday, so. All right, we're back. I had to do a mundane task real quick. And somebody put the wrong mail in their mailbox. It was that neighbor's mail. Anyway, back to what we were saying. Gotta hold yourself to a different standard. Not just than others, but for yourself, right? And I feel like the reason I feel like I'm not doing anything and I'm not doing so well because I keep raising the bar before I even get to reach it. And yeah, that's a good thing here and there, but how do I know I'm doing any good if I barely get to touch the success that I want? If the bar is always risen, Do I give myself kudos? Because I live in a thing where accomplishments is not a real thing, you know? Even when I graduated, I didn't really get any accomplishments, you know? I got awards, you know? My close, well, 2 blood relatives showed up, and a family friend that I call my auntie showed up, which I was so happy for. One friend and my partner at the time showed up. I didn't even get to see her, so. But yeah, it was great at the time, but life didn't hit me, you know. As you say, like, oh, life's gonna hit you after high school. It's either you go to college to maintain your childhood trauma, not your childhood trauma, but your childhood blissfulness, and try to work up to get something greater, right? Or you go straight to the workforce and you get married, you get kids, you die, right? You add a step or you lose a step, and the step that I had added, I lost it due to my own nonsensical thinking. I wouldn't even say injured. I tried to push through the pain. Then, even when I did, I lost the thing that I so what had, right? I had big dreams. My big dreams aren't diminished because that's not the thing I really wanted. I feel like I was just following the crowd. I was semi-okay at something, and I was like, oh, I can probably get better and then see where it takes me. But instead, I'm still here. I think the reason I'm still here because maybe that wasn't my calling at the time, right? We all got callings. People tend to slide the things they're good at as their weaknesses so they can, you know, seem like they're not bragging, they seem humble, but in actuality they are, you know. Well, you know, sometimes I wish I wasn't good at reading people. I recognize patterns, or maybe I care too much, right? They tend to put their good things as weaknesses to seem more human than what they are. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? It's crazy to me, I guess. But don't hold yourself in contempt. Give yourself some type of solidarity, you know? Don't see your mind as a weakness. And I can tell you everything correctly and you still will not follow my words, mainly because we live different lives, and also what lies between you and me doesn't provide any substance to you. I could be the most broken person in the world. They, as you say, practice what you preach. How dare you tell me something and you're not following it? Some people say, well, a coach never plays. That is wrong. Some of the most prevalent coaches in any sport or any game have played the game before, some instance or another. But sometimes you could study everything in the world and still not become a doctor. You need a piece of paper and say, oh, well, you've been here for a consecutive amount of days to get what you need, no matter if you're good or not. Showing up is better than actually doing the work sometimes. If you just show up, I showed up, you know? But if you just showed up, you will get farther than you actually think. But I feel like I was just too scared. I wasn't too scared to leave the nest. I wasn't that. Some people call me a mama's boy, but my mom was all I had at the time. It's the obsession. It's the obsession of winning, you know? It's the human primal state to want to win, you know? I don't know why I did that. I was being dramatic. But it's the human mental space that wants to win. But us as human beings, I don't see myself as a human. I don't see myself as a higher up. I don't see myself as below. I don't see myself as neutral. I don't see myself as nothing either. So what do I see myself as? Something I do not know yet. Right? It's always vague statements when it comes to philosophy, or you are who you are, or be the one without you. It's always a vague statement that nobody understands. With me, I would try to explain everything that I see without looking insane, obviously. right? It's impeccable, incredible to really see yourself in a different limelight than others, right? I strayed away from that path trying to lie who I was because I seen the past that I was condemned by. I thought I could make myself new by going to a different school, following different rules, and using different tools. But even with that, I still couldn't meet that. I still couldn't meet it. I thought if I met new people, see how they see the world, and I thought different experiences will maybe shed a light on what I want to be. It's I come to figure out we're all lost. Not lost until you don't know what's your passion, what you want to do, right? Lost into the point where nothing is really a choice. Your big decisions were already made for you by the way you were born, by the texture of your mind, by the color of your content, by the mental space, by the gratitude that you're hold. Not who or whom that you really know. It's what is really being shown, what is really being grown. As you moan and groan about other things that are never being shown, how do you know that you're truly alone? I think that squirt has rabies. As long as he don't come over here, he is foaming. But as long as he don't come over here, we're straight. But back to it, you know, it's either the world is too serious or the world is too jokey, or you combine the two. You tend to be jokey in serious situations, and you tend to be serious in jokey situations. But some people say laughing in the most crucial manner is the most intelligent thing you can do because your mind sees not the vulgarity, but the absurdism into the statement, right? Yeah. At the time, what was done to me was so-called retribution, the things that I did because I wasn't a human. I wasn't seen as a person. It was seen as a discipline for here and there. I owe those persons an apology, but I hold no contempt and I hold no vigor and I hold no pain towards that person because I've seen that person is broken, beyond fix. We are all broken, passing trauma next generation to the next until we see what can we really contain to the contents and the context of what we see. Do we live the lives that we believe, or do we live the lives that we realize that wasn't meant to be? You know, it's a hard thing. I want to be defensible, not defenseless. I want to have vigor, but not enough vigor to protect the people that pulled the trigger. What they say, protect the people that call you a why though? Because they know not what they are and they know not what they do. God bless. They say God bless you, but I don't think God blessed me to the point that you see. If God really blessed me, why was I meant to be the things that I see? Why was I supposed to be the things of my environment? Why was I supposed to be packing a 42, drinking some blues and shooting up schools? Why should I be the things that they say I am? Is it the classism? Is it me wearing a button up so I can tell you, well, look at them, I'm different from the others. I don't wear a tank top and talk back to my mother. But am I still the same? Am I still the same person you see with a long mane like a lion, but nothing but locks and lies? The dreadful things that they call, but these might not be locks to you. They might be the most dreadful thing that you have ever seen. But the context of the color doesn't mean that I don't know no other. Do you see me as something that's simple, something that's belligerent, something that is a liar? Or do you see that something that can spark a fire? Do I shoot higher for the air of the air? Because I am the air of the people that so called me? I am the royal color of the pink and the purple? Or maybe I'm nothing to really see. Maybe I'm just from these streets. Maybe I just clutch the heat. Maybe It just wasn't meant to be. It wasn't meant to be. Being charismatic for the people that don't know where I have been. But I ain't no thug, but you see that smug face on your look while I give you a mug. Not my mug shot on the canvas, not my mug shot on the milk carton, not my mug shot when I go missing, but the mug shot that shows when I was born. The fingerprint when I was born, not when I was torn, not when I was put in that jail cell trying to be sent to hell. Not for that, right? They always say, oh, he's a rapper, he's an artist, but have you really seen his art? Do you really see what he does? Because all you do is you smell the, but let me not start. It's really not it, right? They preach and they pray, but they never stray away. While I keep these Mac 11s in my fucking 7s, right? I send that boy to heaven. But why send him to heaven if he was always setting to be the stone? Set in stone, but he said, leave me alone. He can't even wear cologne without being sold something he stole. Something he stole, he stutters, he mutters, but he can't get the clutter out of his head because not only was he without a mother, he was without something you cannot earn, something that you cannot be stern. It's the iron. It's the iron in somebody's heart that really tends to start when you understand that we are just glimpses in the dark. What's the real spark? Spark it up. I put my ski mask on because that's all I know. Maybe I should show that when I take it off, I'm just another regular average Joe. Maybe not. I send two. We go to Chipotle or Moe's, we will never know. As we eat and we consume, we're all consumers to the things that we cannot see. So what is it meant to be? As I say, I go back to back. I'm trying to figure out what it really was, but they keep saying, why you keep on rhyming? That shit is whack. Stop that shit, you know? And that's what I do. I stop it every day. I turn the lens away. I repeat, I repeat, and I meddle. All I do is repeat different words in different sections of how I live and how I write. But even as you test my might, I won't write anything that's right. Correct me if I'm wrong, but is this not only a song? Is this not only a poem? Is this not only the things that we see? The sea that we want to meant to be free. Freedom is just an illusion, just like the freedom of speech. But sometimes niggas don't want to hear all that shit, and neither do I. But I try and dismay, but I try to find another thing that can hold me astray. I sit down, I try to pray, but in my mind, I know I'm praying to something I don't understand. So why does it go hand in hand with the things that I disrespect, the things that I don't see? I want to be free, but sometimes that shit just corny and cringy to me. So you'd rather be a shackle or a slave to the things that you led astray, like this phone. But nigga, nobody wants that PG shit. Leave me alone. Like, oh, it's the evil of the world. It's the phone. Nobody gives a fuck about that. I'm worrying about my next dopamine rise, bro. Stop trying to teach me some shit in some corny way and being wise. Nigga, leave me alone. Nigga, I just wanna be on my phone. That's it. But even when I wanna be on my phone, I tend to sit alone. I'm like, damn. That can't be the only thing that I must own, right? I'm more than my cognitive ability to think about my other things, but at the end of the day, we still enemies. And that part, when I say at the end of the day, that's a reminder of the person I love the most, even though I leave her astray sometimes. Her favorite slogan to say, oh my Lord, don't use the Lord in vain, but what Lord did you follow? What spiritual thing did you follow? What scientific thing did you see? You won't be remembered for the things you do or the things you be. You will be remembered for shit. You won't be remembered for shit because you didn't do anything enough to be extravagant. That's why I said I wanted to be remembered and forgotten. It's so ubiquitous. Tell me, who was the first man to make copy? I don't know, but I'm done here. Leave me astray. That is it. I hope this figures out the things that I must say. At the end of the day, it is yours.